We're excited. I think the number one thing is we've got a good group. The guys are committed to each other. I think they understand the value of trying to get better every day. But our theme in the spring, and it will be the same this fall, is can we close the gap? As much as we had a pretty good season, we really didn't do anything. We didn't win our conference. We didn't make the NCAA tournament. So, yeah, we played well. We got better. I think our model of play is going well. I think our guys are working hard, but I think everybody's still hungry. So we've got the quality. I think we've got the personality within our group, the hunger, but we're still trying to close the gap. So that's our main focus.
Having every starter back but one, I believe, how much does that help as far as getting that style of play and everything implemented and just making it kind of second nature for the guys?
Well, it does help, and interestingly, having a spring season and then only having a short summer and then a fall, I think is going to be great. I mean, our college coaches group on the men's side has been trying to have a split season for a long time. The pandemic didn't help us because that kind of got pushed to the wayside, obviously, with a lot of things going on. But two things are really going to help us. One, we had a great fall to train, and so all of our freshmen, I think, played like sophomores in the spring. We had a good spring season and a short summer, and so now we are going to be able to carry over a lot, I think. Moose is a big loss. He's a good player. He was a leader, scored a lot of goals, dynamic player that I think teams had to watch all the time. So we are going to have guys step up, but I think those guys are ready. And again, I think we're already on page 10 of a 20-page book right now, which is great.
You mentioned Musa, 12 points, 5 goals for him last year, your top scorer, but you've got some guys in there that I think are capable. Do you move a midfielder up to that forward spot to try to take his spot, or do you have someone coming in that you feel like could contribute there right away, or how do you approach it?
Well, that's the best part of preseason is it's a fresh year, and kind of going back to what our expectations are. We try to share responsibility with our players. We try to make sure that they understand that, we do our part and they have to go do their part. So we've got some guys who are going to have to step up. I think we had some guys who were almost scoring goals last year, and I think those guys will step in. Not only will they be, in their second year of college soccer, and we've got some good freshman guys that we expect to contribute, and not only just in minutes and what they bring to the team, but we expect them to get points as well.
Danny Cordero, it's hard to imagine him being much better in goal than he was last year with 8 shutouts. How can he be better, though, this year?
Well, what was interesting was Danny actually had ankle surgery in the fall and really didn't play much. I mean, he was on crutches for probably, 6 to 8 weeks and not really trained. So I think Danny can play better, which is interesting. His distribution, you got to imagine coming off of a bad ankle and ankle surgery in the fall. His kicking and distribution wasn't as consistent as I expected to be. So I think he's even going to bring more to that. I do think we've got a good goalkeeper union. That's what our guys call it. So they call it the union. And we've got Blake Franzen in there and Nathan Yoder. Both those guys are quality, so they're pushing Danny as well. So we actually do have a little bit of a competition this year. As well as Danny played, I think Danny's going to have to be on top of his game because we've got a good group.
Gabe Findley, Freshman of the Year last year. Marco, we know what he can do. How much are you going to be relying on those guys to step up and take that scoring load? And will it be by committee, you think?
I think it will be by committee. We've got a guy named Noah Holmes who I think scored a lot of goals in high school and is a goal scorer. He's got that knack in front of goal. Michael Huss, Luke Eberle, among those 3 guys that you mentioned. And then we've got a few freshmen coming in. But I do think we were kind of on that cusp of almost scoring many goals with some guys. And I think having a year of experience now, I expect, Gabe and Michael and Luke and Seth and Noah to all step up. But I think it will be by committee, which is a good thing. If you have one key guy that everybody can hone in on and take care of, that does open up spaces for other players at times. But scoring by committee is lethal because you don't know where it's coming from.
Last couple of things here, schedule-related. East Tennessee State coming up on the 14th, an exhibition. What do you hope to get accomplished out of that ball game?
Well, I think it's an ideal time. Our soccer season is short and intense, and our preseason is even shorter. So it's actually the biggest challenge for college soccer, I think, is that we have a very short preseason. You're trying to schedule 2 games in there, so you have to physically prepare for those. So you can't overload the guys too much. But we expect with 3 days of training, that's on our 4th day, to kind of see where we are. It's a good benchmark. East Tennessee State's a good game. We have to drive to get there. It's about a 4-hour drive, so a little adversity. But yeah, we expect to rotate a lot of guys. get a lot of minutes for everybody and see where everybody is. You can play all your freshmen in that game without losing a year of eligibility. So give everybody a run, make sure we're fresh for the next week, have a good week of training, and then we have UNC at home in a preseason game as well.
Yeah, UNC here. I mean, even a preseason game, that's got to be exciting. It should be a good crowd here, and then kind of helps you prepare for that season opener at Duke as well, doesn't it?
Absolutely. You know, I've taken a cue from Richie McKay on our scheduling and just trying to schedule as many great teams as we can to prepare for our conference. We feel like, you know, we're going to learn more from playing good teams, and you know, we feel like we've created a good schedule that's going to prepare us to win the ASUN championship, and that's the goal. So, you know, whether we win, lose, or draw against East Tennessee, UNC, Duke, Elon, I mean, we're just trying to get better every day, and that's like a coach's cliche, but honestly, we just want to test ourselves and see how good we can be.